Sairam, Sairam. Voice clear? Am I audible? Venkatesh, can you answer? Voice is clear? Okay. Asato ma sat gamaya tamaso ma ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Last talk, we dealt with one portion of verse 39, which said, in my abode of light, where there is no darkness, the one is ever awake, and being awake, he sees. So we dealt about this part of verse 39 in detail, and at the end with reference to a Jivan Mukta. Now we are moving on to the second part, which says, but in the realm of night where all is dark, the many are asleep. And being asleep, they see the one not, but the many. Thus, while I ever abide in the light, the others abide in the dark. Realm of night. With bone, flesh, blood. A normal jiva comes and superimposes just as a jivan mukta. A normal jiva, all jivas for that matter, they come and they emerge from and they exist in superimposed on the infinite screen pure awareness or light. In the last talk, we understood that process without any time space gap as the intellect, pure intellect, absorbs that light, infinite light. When we talk about the realm of night in the second part of this verse, what happens? Some of the jivas or many jivas, unfortunately, cloud cloud their intellect with ego. It has to be understood that all beings created by him, all beings which exist superimposed on the infinite screen, infinite light Shiva, in essence, they have to be the same light because in matter, in spirit, they are the same because the cause of all the entire creation being the same. So, when their intellect is clouded, more than saying that they are not able to absorb the light, it will be more appropriate to say they are not, due to the clouded intellect, they are not able to realize that they are the same light. Thus, they exist in the realm of night. In their case, their ego is equal to night, is equal to sleep, is equal to ignorance. For such jivas, their ego with the five colorings, with the vasanas, everything, all are the combination of some of them. They Their ego influences all their thoughts, all their movements, all their actions. Whereas in the case of a Jivan Mukta, there is no ego. So even the outside ego or vasanas of the world does not disturb his movement, his actions, his thoughts. Here lies the major difference. The darkness or the realm of night is not the literal darkness of the night. It symbolically expresses the night or the realm of the night symbolically expresses the darkness within. A Jivan Mukta walks around at the midnight also lit up totally. He walks as the light, exists as the light. So the day or the light in the literal sense does not apply to him at all. Here it is the darkness within more than the darkness without. With the darkness within, they see all other bodies and minds. And easily, more than catching the positive aspect, the spiritual aspect of all others, they are clouded with, they have clouded their intellect with ego and they exist as the body mind with the chitta ahankara. So easily they are recognizing or they are imagining, may or may not be, mostly they are imagining the darkness of others also in the creation. They have these built up impressions of all around, and it is all darkness everywhere of ignorance. I am ignorant, I think the other person is ignorant, and it is the same from their side also. He is ignorant, she is ignorant, he or she thinks I am ignorant. It's all ignorance, it's all realm of night everywhere. Imagine, imagine pure infinite screen, light, light which is for easily grasping. We took the analogy of the Chitradeepa light screen. This is that screen. All bodies exist superimposed on that screen, created by that screen, created by that consciousness in matter, in spirit. They all exist in that screen. What happens to jivas who exist in the realm of night ignorance? Just imagine they pop up from the screen, and all other ignorant jivas, they also pop up from the screen, and having popped up, they start seeing all other bodies in the screen, and from this side, from that side, from all sides, they have lost sight or they have lost the existence, the basis substratum of their existence, the screen. They are peeping through, and then they are peeping at all other bodies. Here comes the play of vasanas. We see this day in and day out everywhere. At the work front, amongst relations, in center, everywhere. It's all the play of we vasanas. The many referred in this verse, the many is the multitude of ego. More than the many bodies, it is the multitude of ego. We learned in the MBCA session that only memories, harmless memories, they do not manifest as vasanas, and they do not influence the ragadvesha to act. So, harmless, just memories are harmless in themselves unless they come up and then they influence the ego, the colorings of the ego. Similarly, the multitude of bodies existing there in itself cannot cause any harm. So it is not the multitude of bodies that matters. It is the multitude of ego which is really harmful. Clear? Poor beings existing in the realm of night, their pure sattvic intellect is clouded by ignorance, and then the ignorance takes various colorings. But let us stick to ignorance. Due to that ignorance, they are not able to engage in meditation. They are not able to undertake sincere nididhyasana. They are never able to get the glimpse of that light, that pure essence. For them, the infinite Shiva, the light, infinite pure awareness, all these would be just mere lines, finite lines, without being able to fetch them the inward experience of that light in the depth of their meditation. This is the existing in the realm of night. Now come to the Jivan Mukta. Shiva says, I ever abide by the light. And the Jivan Mukta says the same thing without saying in words. Similar to the beings, other bodies, the Jivan Mukta also, in his waking state of consciousness, also sees several other bodies. It is not that his senses have gone inactive and he is not able to see the play of vasanas, he is not able to see any other ego at all. It is not like that. Till the time he has to be undergoing some dharma, some duties, and he is living in the samsara, he is also aware of the play of ego in the world. But as Sthita Prajna, he is so deep rooted in that screen consciousness that the outside play of ego vasanas, he sees, he's aware, but they cannot touch him. Eyes may see, ears may hear, but he is not come out of that existence in and as that pure screen light and looking at and getting disturbed by the ego in the world. What happens in the case of jivas? They are so much drawn towards the vasanas of each other, they have forgotten the screen. But he exists only as that screen. So the outside play is unable to disturb him. Remember in the last talk what we gave a new interpretation to the body falling as dry leaf. What we learned, the impotence or the total incapability of the ego outside, around, and also possibility of any ego affecting him, disturbing him, his state of consciousness, his state as pure light. This is what is known as his body falling as dry leaf. It never falls as it is. The body stays, the work goes on, everything goes on. But the inability of his BM to affect the state of consciousness is what we understood as the body falling off as dry leaves. It is there, but it is not there to disturb. Dry, dry. Similarly, here also he sees, he knows, but that rooted in consciousness, Tita Prajna, the other play in the world does not disturb his state of consciousness. This is the one difference. He also sees, he also acts, he also is aware of everything going on in the world, but indivisible rock, his existence in that rock, the play of vasanas, indivisible. There is no hole, there is no provision in that rock for the outside play of vasanas to come and penetrate. Indivisible. Yoga Vashishta. All treaties come and culminate and merge in Shiva Rahasya and prostrate to Shiva Rahasya because this is the ultimate of the ultimate. While he is in Samadhi, he cannot be aware of the play of vasanas of the world. He cannot be aware of beings in the world. He cannot be aware of the creation, leave alone the created. He cannot be aware of the creation. And often, most of the times, he exists in samadhi, unaware of the creation. Being aware of the play of vasanas is those moments where he has to be forcibly acting, moving in the world. Next verse. Oh, you are the most wise. It is absence of light that makes the one appear as many. When I, the Lord, Shiva is saying, when I, the Lord, conceal my all revealing light, I appear as the many to those who abide in the dark. When I conceal my all revealing light, I appear as the many to those who abide in the dark. He says, I concealed his all pervading light. Concealing here means not total concealing, not stopping, not blocking the opportunity of anyone in the world to realize him as that pure light. Concealing here has to be understood as giving an option, a choice for the mankind to stay as light or to superimpose the darkness of ignorance over the light. This is Maya. This is Ishvara's Leela. Now, a sadhaka in despair, leave alone the intellectuals who ask for the argument's sake. That is all useless. Okay, mere intellect is of no use in spirituality. A sadhaka who is undergoing sufferings and he is aware of his ignorance in the past, he is aware of the mistake committed in the past due to ignorance of play of vasanas, play of ego, and he is suffering maybe due to the acts done in the present birth or the previous birth. He imagine a sadhaka is crying out to the Lord in despair. Why did you give the choice at all? Why avidya came at all? From where? Since when? Why you could not have created the universe where there is no darkness of ignorance? Why did you give the choice? You are saying, I concealed my all pervading light. Why did you conceal? Why you gave that chance at all to mankind? Mankind on its own, human beings getting created for the first time ever, they cannot have the capacity to choose to be ignorant. You gave them an opportunity. You yourself are saying in the Shiva Rahasya, I concealed my all pervading light. Why you did that? Why all could not have been born and soon realized and merged in you? How beautiful the creation would have been. They gave birth to few who again grow, realize, merge in you. And always the light is there. There is no ignorance. How beautiful the world would have been. Extending the line which we went through in the first ever session, purpose of human birth. काहे बनाया तूने दुनिया का मेला जिसने लगाया ये जवानी का खेला. Javani is not to be understood Javani. It is to be understood as you allowed us to play with our vasanas. Why? Why you gave this opportunity at all? You will give us the choice to choose ignorance, avarna, to veil our true nature, light, engage in karma based on ego, undergo several bursts of pleasure and pain, and ultimately we have to come back to you to realize that we are ever the light. A sadhaka is putting this volley of questions to Shiva. Perhaps he may not get the answer. Nobody has got the answer to these questions. Shiva smiles. So, go back to a session on Maya where he referred to a line by a yogi in the Himalayas. Maharaj, माया पे तर्क ना करें, माया के बारे में समझने की कोशिश ना करें. माया को काटें, you will never ever be able to get a convincing answer on Maya, on Avidya, Anadi, timeless where. That's why we negated Avidya because we don't know from where it came, from when did it exist even before the time the five elements came, from where it came suddenly we don't know. We will never be able to understand Ishvara's Leela as to why he allowed us to go in, choose the ignorant path, path of ignorance. So there is no use. You will never be able to, you can, uh, intellectual scholars can keep debating on this for years. Still, they will not be able to come to an answer. Only possible, sure way, because we have got Shankara, we have got Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, we have got Ramana, we have got Shivanandaji, we have got proof before us, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Anandamahima, so many. So there is proof before us without any doubt, above board. What is possible? We can transcend Maya. माया को काटें, माया पे उलझे ना, माया को काटें. We can transcend Maya. We can transcend all questions. We can transcend all answers. We can even transcend Shiva Rahasya to exist as Shiva. Shiva would not have perhaps spoken at this. Somebody unknown has given the Shiva Rahasya to this world, right? Go there and exist as that. You will never ever have any doubt, any questions. You will never ask Shiva, why did you create? Because you have transcended the creation. There is no creation for you. Why you will ask why created? Right? So he says, for those who have chosen the other path, the darkness of ignorance, I, the Shiva, will appear to them as many bodies of with many vasanas. They would see themselves as BM, exist with their vasanas, and also see all others as their BM with their vasanas. Already covered. So, in this a major milestone verse, he says, I have only concealed my all pervading light. He gave us before 2010, what 2011, what was your state? What was his state also before 2010? Our own life is a proof for this. He gave us both the options. We have been Sai devotees for a long time. Some of them, some of us since birth, some of us since we were 5-year old, 6-year old, 10-year old. We have been in Sai fold for a long time. We have been hearing his discourses for a long time. We have visited Puttaparthi for a long time. He gave us both the choice, concealing also, revealing also. Both choices were given to us. So he is not to be blamed. When the choices were given to us, we chose his concealed path. And then we know what has happened to us till 2011. And now when we chose the path of Shreyas, good Vedanta, this Guru Shishya Parampara, these sessions, hundreds of sessions, thousands of messages. When we got immersed in this path, then he has not shut the door by concealing the darkness of ignorance. When we chose this path, he said, Tathastu. Okay, come, now come. Now come to the path of light, Shiva Rahasya. We picked up the wrong path. When we chose the right path, he was with us. He will be with us always. In our wickedness also, he will be with us. In our virtues also, he will be with us. It is up to us what path we choose. He never leaves us just because we are bad, just because we are a criminal, just because our thoughts are bad, just because we are not able to pursue sadhana. He's always with us, waiting for us in one birth to choose the path, Sat Sanmarg. Very, very important course. To, to, to act as a torch, to throw light, and for us to be aware of all our thought patterns, our actions, where we are moving, till we realize. Next verse. Having talked about the darkness, play of revealing, concealing the light, now he says, I myself, however, ever see the one even behind the veil of many. I see only the one. Behind the many, I see only the one. For I was one in the beginning, I am one now, and I shall be one in the end and in all eternity. Shiva, in essence, or a Jivan Mukta, in essence, can never see multiplicity in the creation. As we already heard a while before, a Jivan Mukta also is aware of the plurality of the play of vasanas. Since this is for a very limited circulation of three or four of you, he can share with you, as you are all aware, how much he saw the vasanas of you in the center. He knew the play of vasanas in the center. A jiva would react, counter those vasanas with his or her vasanas, and there will be attack of vasanas. There will be a fights due to vasanas, inwardly or explicitly. Given a chance, it may be burning inside, but given like lightest chance of a fire to be caught, display the vasanas will glorify themselves and play to such an extent that the whole center melts. What Shiva says, I am the one. I am the one in the beginning, in the end, and now always. I see only the one in many. It is not that his eyes did not see, his ears did not hear, his intellect did not grasp the play of asanas of you. Quite a few incidents we are all aware. But they come, they come, they come, they are not able to penetrate. They go back, and some of you have also seen and expressed your wonder as to how he went to the few of them, laughed with them, talked to them, hugged them, shared the infinite love, and returned. All this cannot be done deliberately. When you have known the vasanas of others, you cannot laugh from your heart. You cannot love from your heart. You cannot hug from your. You cannot. All these things cannot happen deliberately. Any artificial smile, any artificial hug, any artificial sharing of words is known. Is it is seen that nothing is emanating from heart. For those of you who watched, you knew that it is flowing, flowing like Ganges. The many, the few of them here expressed as many, is giving you example not for glorifying himself. He is giving you example for grasping the essence of this verse for your life till you die or till you realize. Afterwards, after grasping, you can just throw the example aside, not relevant. The many did think and act as many in the realm of night, approached him as many, attacked him as many. He saw he is only one, and he saw only one. That. And you have to reach that stage where you are able to see only one in the many. You are able to exist as light, and you are able to realize all as that one light, or say one pure awareness till you reach to the light and go beyond the light. You exist as pure awareness, and you can apprehend the entire humanity as only that one pure awareness. Why will Shiva like to boost of himself? Similarly, why would a Jivan Mukta like to boost of himself? When Shiva says, I, the light, I was there, Pranasakha, in the Tumoho Anatanata Bhagavan we read, I was there, I am in the present, I am in the future. Shiva says, I am the light, and I see only one in many. Why would Shiva say that? He wants the entire spiritual sadhakas, entire world to reach to that state. Swarga Bhumi. Shiva, Sai, Jivan Mukta, in essence, as that pure essence, Tattvam, which is beyond expression, exists, and only the essence Tattvam exists in all this. Only that essence Tattvam existence is there in the past, present, future, beyond the time, beyond the space, through in and through several evolutions and involutions, Srishti and Pralaya. Even while multitude of beings come and go. Last verse of today. I, the one Lord, through my play of darkness and light, bring forth everything in sight. All created beings are but sparks of my divine light. A part of me, of my infinite self, lies hidden in all things. Shiva confirms that all created beings are sparks of his essence, the light. An indivisible part of Shiva, an indivisible part of that screen. It may look contradictory. You are saying indivisible, you are saying part. You have to understand in the essence. Screen, a part of the screen, but it is not different from the screen, is where you and me have come and emerged. And how he came? Through the energy of that screen, through that light Shiva consciousness. How we exist as that screen consciousness. So we are all sparks, Atman. We are all sparks of that indivisible, infinite Shiva light screen, whatever you call or understand. The unique privilege, that is what we saw in the Viveka Chudamani verse recently. The unique privilege in that pure screen, animal kingdom, plant kingdom, all, everything exists. The privilege to realize that when we disregard our physical existence, in essence, we are the spark, we are an indivisible part of that infinite consciousness light screen. This privilege has been given only to the human beings. But some of us, or many of us, or most of us, choose the other path to exist as this body mind only. Never disregard this physical existence along with ego. So we exist in the realm of night. We are not able to go in the path of realization. Realizing that, what Shiva says in this verse, realizing that we are that indivisible spark, part, that spark of the universal spark, Atman, Brahman, individual consciousness, universal consciousness. He did not conceal his all, though Shiva says, I concealed my all pervading existence. He did not. He gave us both options. Why he gave, we don't know. Paramahamsa Yogananda's first sentence, purpose of human birth. I kept myself on one side of the rope game, and the other side was this glittering world, and I gave you limited freedom to choose me or to choose that. This is what he means when he says, I concealed. I gave you the option of realizing me or to choose the darkness. My infinite essence lies hidden in all things, says Shiva. Hidden means not hidden in literal sense, not discovered, not realized. So, in that timeless, spaceless, that momentless moment when the intellect absorbs that light, at once, there is nothing hidden. Everything, or the one thing which needs to be realized, is realized eternally. And truly, from the source he has given you in the previous talk, truly, if one has realized, then the process of realization, the moment of realization, the absorption of that light by intellect, pure awareness, all of them go. Shiva Rahasya goes, Shiva goes as expression. One exists as Shiva without saying, I am Shiva. Yesterday morning, he took your stand, sadhaka stand, and he realized on your behalf. He came to sadhaka's level and he is ever realized. He came to sadhaka's level and he went through that momentless moment, realized, and then he exists. And in that existence, he concludes There is no Shiva Rahasya. Crossed. I might be existing as that light with which the Shiva Rahasya started, but nothing in me is able to convey or express that I am that light. Nor am I able to say I am that pure awareness. Nor am I able to think about one and many, light and darkness. He's just giving you a glimpse. So never to get confused that oh how that is possible. So it is all beyond that. Saying that not to leave all these force. You have to be your duty, your dharma. What is in your hand is to be in these force till your death, till your last. How many hours you are devoting or how many minutes you are devoting per day on this sports, it is not in his hands at all. He is absolutely helpless as much as Swami was helpless. If Swami could not make all his students realize him, avatar, how can he make enforce on you and how can he make sure that you are ever in this ultimate of the ultimate treatise Shiva Rahasya? Totally helpless. But he can say, only say that you cannot think or deliberate or aim or imagine that day which he did on your behalf yesterday. You cannot plan or think of that day, D-Day of realizing. Your only duty to be in the poor. And he can give assurance based on his own life, can give you assurance, come what may. Any calamity, any disaster, anything may happen if you are tuned to these talks and live, breathe these talks. Then he can assure you, based on his own life, that the realization will happen. This, if it is not happening, or if you are not getting glimpses, you are not sincerely pursuing. He is not concealing. You are not truly utilizing the other option given by him, for which he has given you the freedom, free will, purusharth. Once the session is over, or anyone coming to Kutter walks off, or anyone listening ends listening, or anyone not listening now subsequently op- opens the link and listens. After you have listened, your lifestyle or your morning to night, he has no control. Absolutely. It is not the Guru Shishya Parampara in the Himalayas where you can be slapped. He can keep on convincing you that if you are sincere in these series of talks, combining it with other talks which may keep coming on bhakti, on jnana, on all, or as a garland, if you are going to be like a camera zoom, if your BM is just going to attend to all the duties compulsorily forced on you, but internally, if you are just glued to these sessions and breathe and live internally without even your spouse or anyone knowing about how much you are living in these pores. If you are internally living in these pores, then you are steadily progressing towards that momentless moment which he underwent on your behalf yesterday. He can keep on giving you assurance, he can keep on convincing you. But how you spend your time inwardly, your thoughts inwardly, your meditation inwardly, no guru has ever had control when you are all in this world, not with him in the Himalayas. So we will end quoting the last verse again. I, the one Lord, through my play of darkness and light, bring forth everything in sight. All created beings, all created things are but sparks of my divine light. A part of me, of my infinite self, lies hidden in all things. When you have become, when you realize that you are part of that infinite self, you verily exist as that infinite self, because actually there is nothing called part. You have occupied a limited portion in the infinite screen. What in you has occupied, your body has occupied. Okay. But when that momentless moment comes and when you have realized, what realization means? Realized that there is no difference between the individual spark that Shiva is referring to and the universal light. That realization itself makes you infinite. You go beyond the limited part which you have occupied in the screen. Your body will continue to occupy that limited portion. It will continue to grow and get diseases, decay, death, go to hell, that body. But when you have realized, then there is nothing called part or whole. Purnamada Purnamidam, what you have learned. When the whole is taken out of the whole, what remains is whole, right? Refresh, go back to 2013. A Shiva Rahasya has been given in subtle way in so many sessions. 14 years, long time. Now that it is being given concentrated as Shiva Rahasya. The part when it realizes the whole no more exists as part. It exists as the whole. That is the beauty, that is the wonder, that is the teaching which only Vedanta can give. Here you are taught to go through the process of Shravana, Manana, Nividhyasana to reach that state where you do not limit yourself to a limited identity, being ever at the feet of Narayana as a tiny, insignificant jiva. You merge and you exist as the whole. Partipur 1, Partipur 2. Such pores are such pores where weekly, monthly you can listen, and relish the beauty with it. Truly speaking, post retirement, of course, he will have the time. Truly speaking, you call it selfishness of a guru in form or whatever. He feels that when two, three, four of you are here in the session, online or offline, he doesn't want to end. He does keep wants to keep continuing for hours and hours because till you are there online or till you are here, you are in the process of Shravanam. You are glued, and you may be existing as a spark only in this lit up experience. When he says Shanti Shanti, after that he doesn't know where you are up to, but what to do. He cannot hold you on for a day or two. He cannot keep on talking. பாவம் எல்லா குரு ரொம்ப பாவம். In the Grahastha, either if someone has to realize the session has ended, he leaves you with this note. Either a celibate, he should live as a celibate, not married, realize, leave the world, even if he's president of Google or highest level also, wherever, leave the world, go to Himalaya. Or he should have that bhagyam where in the grahastha, after having realized, his wife also accompanies him to Himalayas because he cannot leave the family. Here are such gurus who don't have both these options. They are all ரொம்ப powerful. They cannot leave the disciples. They cannot go to Himalayas and live alone. கடவுளே Hari Om. Tat Sat.